From the studios of Farm Journal Broadcast, this is U.S. Farm Report.
Welcome to U.S. Farm Report this weekend. I'm Tyne Morgan, and here's what's in store over the next 60 minutes. USDA announcing $1 billion to combat avian flu.
For me, the important piece is not just this immediate short-term goal of getting the cost of eggs down and repopulating our layers and locking our barns down, but much more importantly, perhaps is figuring this out for the long term so we're not having the same conversation over and over and over again.
And some of that funding is coming from DOGE. We have an exclusive interview with Secretary Rollins. USDA shocks the corn market, printing 94 million acres of planted corn this year. A Kansas farmer's inspiring journey to overcome adversity while still managing to grow.
Being able to get outside of what you're doing every day and hearing other people's experiences is crucial to making it a successful company.
At just 40 years old, Chase Larson's journey to farm CEO is one that made him a finalist for Top Producer of the Year. And is it too soon to worry about drought this summer? Not according to one leading ag meteorologist. He says the warning signs are already there. USDA is expecting big corn acres this year. That's according to the Ag Outlook Forum. The agency hosting its annual Ag Outlook Forum this week. It's forecasting that farmers will plant more acres of corn this year and fewer acres of soybeans, calling for 94 million acres of corn. That's up from 90.6 million last year. And that was also higher than the average trade estimates. And soybean acres, well, that projection is 84 million. That's down from 87.1 million in 2024. It's also calling for wheat plantings to be at 47 million acres, up from 46.1. We'll discuss the numbers in our roundtable discussion coming up. The Trump administration made a big announcement this week, a new plan to fight avian flu and lower egg prices at the grocery store. The plan announced by USDA Secretary Brooke Rollins involves $1 billion in funding, and we spoke exclusively with Rollins on Thursday. The plan involves 5 parts. First, $500 million investment to help poultry producers increase biosecurity measures, $400 million in aid for farmers whose flocks have been impacted by avian flu, $100 million for research into potentially develop vaccines and therapeutics for the nation's chicken flocks, removing unnecessary regulatory burdens on egg producers where possible, and USDA will also consider temporary import options to reduce egg costs in the short term. Rollins talking to me this week via phone about the plan, telling me it's aimed to address the short-term and the long-term issues with avian flu. We also asked her where the money for the plan is coming from.
We've repurposed funds from other programs within USDA, so this is not spending new money. Clearly, we're in an era where President Trump's vision is to really streamline government, but this is not that. This is outside that lane. This is a really, really important issue. You know, it's affecting every single American, not just our poultry producers. And so there's short-term and long-term fixes here.
Rollins says the administration is anticipating egg prices could still further climb heading toward the Easter holiday, a time when demand has been historically high. We also asked when the nearly $500 million for increased biosecurity efforts will happen. She says that will be dispersed immediately. You can hear the full interview on our Farm Journal YouTube page. The announcement coming just after USDA had revised its food price forecast, now expecting egg prices to rise more than 41% this year. That's more than double the more than 20% rise predicted last month. About 18.8 million commercial egg layers were impacted by HPAI in January alone, the highest monthly total since the latest outbreak began in 2022. The agency reporting the cost of eggs right now at $8.07 a dozen. We've been keeping you updated on the situation with 2 of our top trading partners, Canada and Mexico. Now, President Trump saying this week 25% tariffs on both countries are planned to take effect on March 4th. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum reaffirming her commitment to securing a deal with the U.S. to prevent the 25% tariffs, emphasizing Mexico's dedication to addressing the fentanyl crisis and maintaining strong trade relations under the USMCA. She also noted Mexico is considering additional tariffs on imports from countries without free trade agreements, particularly China. Also on trade, the Senate has confirmed Jamison Greer to be the next U.S. Trade Representative. Greer's nomination cleared the Senate by a 56-43 vote. He is a veteran of President Donald Trump's first term in dealing with China, Mexico, and Canada. The American Farm Bureau congratulating Greer, saying his experience with trade issues will help create a level playing field to help farmers and ranchers compete internationally and address food needs around the world. Well, the layoffs aren't over yet at John Deere. The ag equipment giant announcing its additional job cuts at its Ankeny, Iowa plant. In total, 119 workers will be impacted, with the layoffs happening from March through April. It's reported the plant currently employs about 1,500 workers. Deere saying in a statement to Iowa media that these layoffs continue to be a result of a struggling farm economy. The Ankeny plant manufactures grain and tillage tools and sprayers, along with cotton pickers and cotton strippers. That's it for the news. A severe weather outbreak is possible next week in the South. We'll have a check of your forecast coming up next.
U.S. Farm Report is brought to you by Pioneer. Next level yields start with genetics proven to perform. Pioneer. Next level yields start here.